What is up, my little Deinos? Vepsis, your coach of the Helsinki Hydreigons, and we are here for the Champions of Galar Tournament Season 2 Week 5 battle when we go up against Ogalbina and his team beating Miami Mence. Please make sure to check him out, his YouTube channel will be down below in the description. Somebody that I haven't got to go up against for a good while now. I think I played him twice now in my career, and this will be the third time. But it's been a long time that since we played last time. I think the last one was in the BBR, where my races still kind of did him dirty in one of the last 2 weeks. In a game that wasn't really too much in stake at the time. But this time around the game is, I would consider it's a pretty big one for both of us. Because I'm sitting at 2-2 situation after 4 weeks of playing. And he's sitting at 1-3. So both of us are in a desperate situation still. Even more so for his sake. But also I consider it in a game that I definitely will want to win. When it comes to my situation in standings and what have you. So it's gonna be a big game for both of us, and we're gonna be going through my team of 6 that I'm bringing, which you can already see on the layout, but we're gonna be going through the sets very briefly as well. And then on the right side this time around I have it in a way that for my opponent is that those are the 6 that I'm expecting to see. So that layout might be edited once we get into the team preview in itself with Ogalbina, but either way, the matchup should be popping right about now on your screen for about 10 seconds, so you can pause it if you would like to kind of get the idea that what kind of matchup we are having for my end and for my opponent's end as well. This could be also last week for some of my members on my team, either that I'm bringing or that are not being brought, because this is the final week of transactions, and right after this game I'm gonna be sitting down and consider my options for the remaining of the regular season, what I should do with my transactions, and keep in mind in playoffs as well to give myself a best opportunity. But that's not here and there, that's just something to keep in mind going to week 6, that my roster might look a little different, but we'll see how much different it's gonna be. But we are starting this off with our Yahtzee Berry Landers Steria, which is actually here to be like a supportive Landers, even though in a matchup in itself I do think my opponent has to be very cautious of a dual dance Landers Steria with Edgequake coverage like Rock Move and a Ground Stab in itself. But I feel like because he has so many ways of shutting that down, or the ones that I expect to him having to be on his team, like a Fast Mew with Ice Beam and Will-O-Wisp, for example, can shut it down pretty well. He could be a Fat Dragonite with heavy-duty boots on it and multi-scale and have Ice Beam on it. He can also bring Appleton, which can force me in a situation that if I don't have a flying stab or anything to hit it, Appleton can shut me down pretty well, because Rock Move would not be doing too much to it, and Apple Acid, I believe it's its signature move, would do a decent amount to me after few hits from his end in itself. So I feel like he can prepare, and he should be preparing very heavily for offensive Landers with his team. So I'm gonna be using this in a different way, that this is gonna enable my other members of my team ideally to go very well. And I have the Yahtzee Berry just for covering his ice coverage from Mew and Dragonite particularly. And I have a max speed to cover Lucario. Even if it's max speed I still outpace it, barring it being Scout for speed boost in some ways. And my moves are gonna be, which you can see, Earthquake, Knockoff, Stealth Rocks and Toxic. Stealth Rocks are the one that I primarily want to get up with this thing as soon as possible, just to be able to get that chip damage and intensify potential heavy duty boots. And speaking of those, I have Knockoff just to be able to eliminate those. Like, let's say something like a Dragonite is in front of me in itself, and I know it's not boosted up, I can potentially utilize Landers there to be able to get off its heavy duty boots, so rest of my members can deal with it a lot better, especially if my rocks are up at that point. And with the Yahtzee Berry, ideally versus Dragonite I can go for the Stealth Rocks first as the Ice Beams, but I have Yahtzee Berry intact and I can stay alive. And then the turn after I can choose to go for Knockoff, remove its heavy duty boots before I go off, and then my rest of the team can handle his team from there. So that's kind of the idea with Landers there, being purely supportive. Toxic is there to cover the Appleton if it shows up, or anything else fatter that I need to get Toxic and put them on a timer on. But primarily Knockoff and Stealth Rock are the 2 big moves that I want to click with this guy throughout this battle. Then we are bringing a heavy duty boots Raikou with modest nature and decent amount of physical defense, as well, just to cover a Scarf Crocodile locked into knockoff, because I can live 2 of those. One holding the item and right after without holding one from full. And we have Thunderbolt, Scald, Volt Switch, and Calm Mind. This set will go, ideally can go crazy depending on how much preparation he will have and how much he has left of it during the battle. Something like a Fat Apple turn, Partial Burial, Scarf Crocodile, or Multi-Scale Intact Dragonite can still stop this, but I still want to bring this set, because if I can utilize this properly, it will either open up the room for my priority to be able to pick off, or this is the winning condition at the end that I can work towards to, and ideally I can eliminate those problems that Raikou would have otherwise in this matchup to not be able to go past him. But I do think the Calm Mind is the worthwhile. I consider putting Toxic on this as well, but I think Calm Mind is important just in case if something like Mew is like 3 attacks recovery, or just recovery in itself on Mew can be annoying for me to break. So I wanted to have something that outpaces it and can get up a Calm Mind and break him down that way. And then we are bringing another heavy duty boots mod. You're gonna see I'm gonna be having 4 heavy duty boots on this team, because I do expect that Stealth Rocks and T-Spike combination from my opponent's side. And if they do choose to bring like something like Klefki or put Mew with spikes, he can bring a lot of hazard stacking versus me. And I don't want to put a remover on my team, because I want to have Stealth Rocks on his side, and I did not feel comfortable bringing Sarina into this matchup for Rapid Spin. So because of all those factors in, and I'm not bringing Weezing either as my grounded poison type, I'm gonna be putting a lot of heavy duty boots on this team, and therefore ideally with the hazard wall by having those and removing some of his heavy duty boots and having those rocks up for his side. But with this, we are dealing with pretty much, this is here for the Blacephalon. We are special defensive invested, but some physical bulk as well that I thought can be handy as well. And then we have Dragon Tail, Earthquake, and Rest Lead Talk. I'm famously known for running Rest Talk throughout this generation, but this is actually, fun fact, the first time I run this season on any of my Pokemon. So go figure that I will be doing it versus Ogalbina the first time around, and people who have, like him, having a bigger audience than I do, will give that perspective that, oh, he's playing the guy again who loves running Rest Talk every single week. It's gonna look like that, but if you watch from my end and have you seen my side of the season thus far, this is literally the first time I've done this. And in this situation, if I get Stealth Rocks up and I'm able to remove some of his heavy duty boots on things like Dragonite, for example, I can start going for Dragon Tails, assuming there's no Klefki on my opposing side, and I can start chipping things down with those Stealth Rocks and eliminate their longevity that way, and not having to worry about the rest of the game. It also provides me an option that I'm not a setup fodder to anything except for the Klefki. And then I also have the EQ to cover the Blacephalon, unable to hit it, and I'm doing some chip damage to some other things like Toxapex, depending on their spread, what they are, and if they had Sugar Berry intact, and what have you. But that's gonna be the GOODRA. Then we have our dedicated lead 4 attacks, Power Meteor Beam Necrozma with 4 attacks, including the Meteor Beam in itself. And the other 3 moves are Photo Geyser, Dark Pulse, Heat Wave. And then Meteor Beam as the last one. I wanted this to be set up, but I felt like Taunt Mew and like a Starbreaker Mew is so obvious for Ogalbina to run. He likes running that kind of Mew often than not, if the setup Mew doesn't have like oddly good matchup. So I feel like trying to go for a slower setup versus a Mew that can easily taunt me would be not beneficial for me. So I need to have a immediate way to start dishing damage to it, and that's why we're gonna be modest max special attack with Dark Pulse on it. But I still wanna have some coverage to be able to hit his Steel type being the Klefki. He has Lucario, but it's not like really a prototypical Steel type, because it doesn't have the resistance that usually Steel type has, for Psychic for example. And then we have Meteor Beam essentially as attacking move that gives me 1 attempt to get up a +1 special attack, and this enables me ideally in a turn 1 situation, is as long as I don't see like Blacephalon or Crocodile as a lead, I can stay in versus most of the things and go for one of my attacks. Like let's say if I'm facing Mew turn 1, I'm gonna be clicking right away Dark Pulse, expecting him to be having a status move on it, or he's more likely clicking Taunt if he has it. Like Taunt is probably the first move he will be clicking. So I do massive damage turn 1 to it, and then turn 2 I go for a Medium Beam that covers Mew staying in, or if he swaps into Crocodile, because at +1 Meteor Beam into a +1 Heat Wave, depending on his spread and if he has Assault Fist or not, I have actually decent chance of taking it out. And if he's offensive, then I'm definitely taking out from the get-go. And I should be living based on my bulk most hits from it. And because I burn out my item with the power of Meteor Beam, I'm not as weak to knock off because I don't have an item that I would be holding and be punished for by him having the move in itself. So that's gonna be the Necrozma. Then we have Primarina, which is gonna be a Moonblast, Psychic, Calm Mind, and Aqua Jet. Surprising enough or not, it is also gonna be heavy duty boots, just to make sure that I'm not taking toxic spikes, especially on this case. And then basically we also have Aqua Jet as a form of priority for finishing off a plus Syphilon if it's worn down. I believe I should be taking it out after 2 rounds of Stealth Rocks, assuming he doesn't have as much bulk that I would expect it to have. And then I have Calm Mind as another form of way to bypass his passive stuff if he brings any passive stuff like a 3 attacks Roost Mew or something like that. And it also gives me a way to plow through Toxapex a little bit faster with my Psychics. While though I do have to watch out for Poison Jab and Gunk Shot from his side if I'm willing to take that. This is also potentially a failsafe for a Dragon Dance Dragonite if I'm seeing Dragonite kept in the back for very long. That would make me think that it's going to be a setup Dragonite, so I should be living always a +2 dual wing peak, for example, or Earthquake, and in that nature from full. And assuming I'm able to break its multi-scale, Moonblast should be taking it out from there. So that's pretty much the Primarina. Very like a multi-diverse options what I can do with it. It really depends on his Dragonite, if it shows up or not, and how he's playing it, how I end up using Primarina in this matchup, and hopefully that's how future me thinks of it at the time. And then the last member, not surprising enough, Talonflame holding heavy duty boots and also Gale Wings' ability for one big priority move that I wanted to have in the back. For example, if like Choice Cup plus Syphilon gets out of hand, set up Mew is getting out of hand, set up Lucario, set up Dragonite without E-Speed, for example. I wanted to have a one big Brave Bird in the back just in case for that. Then I have Flare Blitz to hit the Klefki and the Thunderous, for example. I have U-Turn for the initiative, and then I have Taunt, just in case if a Mon in front of me I cannot kill, but they have the option to heal themselves up, which could be annoying, or they can set up in front of me with my Talonflame being in the field, and if I'm not able to take them out. I wanted to have a move that kind of deters me to lose in those situations. So Taunt kind of covers that basically for my end. So that's gonna be the team in itself, and now let's go and see how this battle is gonna be turning out. Alright, here we are with the battle versus Ogalbina aka Owen. We did share out 6 now, so actually I don't have to edit the layout, thankfully. Thanks for him for telling me the 6. So I only got the Lucario wrong, I had Dragonite instead, but other than that the 6 were they were pretty simple what they're going to be. From his end, and for my end I already told him as well what 6 I'm running this week, well with 6 Pokemon, obviously not the sets in itself, but here we go. I'm gonna be pressing A and we are pretty much good to go. My lead should be always staying the same, which is going to be my Necrozma. And I go from there. He could be leading one of his hazard setting modes, like Toxapex might be right away something he prioritizes for T-Spikes. And for me, the priority probably would be trying to wear down Mew. And especially getting rid of Crocodile would be big, so I don't have to deal with that for my Raiku's sake. And it would be also big that he doesn't have his knockoff user, Premier one at least. He has some other mods that get access to like Mew, Thunderous and Toxapex, but ideally the Crocodile would be the only one running it this week. So even if he gets his hazards up, I should be not having to worry about them with my heavy duty boots mons in itself. The only one that really cares about both is the Necrozma, but it's gonna be the lead. It's meant to break early on, hopefully, for my sake. But we are gonna be sticking that as a lead, and we'll see what he leads up with. And I'll put Necrozma in my cock as my first mon to having to look at. And let's see. I could see Toxapex, Crocodile, or Mew as a lead. Or Thunderous. Thunderous is his lead of choice. Do I mind this too much? I could hard Meteor Beam turn 1. This would OHKO this Thunderous. It would cover the Mew swapping and give me big Dark Pulse afterwards. I think I like Meteor Beaming turn 1, just put a huge pressure on him. He does go for the Toxic. And Meteor Beam should be taking him out from here. Alright. We do land it, I assume, because the animation is going off. And the power up. Oh my god, I missed it. I assume I was landing it. Oh, that's annoying. Well, that's a tough turn 1 to click. I guess now I could technically click Heatwave that covers the Crocodile swap in. Or I just go for a photo geyser and hit what is in front of me. And he's the sub-toxic set. That's so annoying. I should have been able to kill this turn 1. I'm not gonna be staying in, unfortunately, any longer with this thing, cause this means right away that he can, yeah, sub-toxic protect stall me down. That's so annoying. Because this thing should have been dead turn 1. But my out versus this thing is the Dragonite at this, my GOODRA. So I cannot be spending time here with this thing. So he led out with this to stall break, which is now able to do it because I missed that meteor beam, because I was modest max special attack. So that's a little annoying. At this point I'm gonna be clicking just Dragon Tail. And go from there. The Necrozma can still do decent amount of work because I'm decent amount of health with it. But it's not able to do as much as I would have liked because it was meant to like break the team right away. The Toxapex comes out. I guess now I get to know if it is a Rocky Helmet. It could be Sugar Berry or Black Slug. That did decent amount of damage to it. And he just goes back to the Thunder. So I'm probably fine just be able to click this move all the time. I would imagine he might just get a Toxic off on me anyways. So I'm just gonna click, yeah, he's gonna click Toxic. I have Restock thankfully, so this can be covered. The other option would have been like, now knowing in a hindsight that I missed the hit, I could have just got hard into this. But ideally I should be up 5 to 6 to 5 at this point, as the Crocodile comes in. And it's the Intimidate. So he's gonna be able to get up rocks, which would be annoying. I could use this opportunity to go into my Primarina, cause right now its purpose is to also now break. And I might need it now to do that, cause the Dragonite is not here. This will immediately force him out as well. So I'm just gonna go into my Primarina at this point and try to break him. As we seek knockoff first. Okay. So he goes for that first hand. I'll go for the Calm Mind. I expect the Toxapex to come in. So I'm gonna be going for a +2 Psychics. Or +1 Psychics, rather. I have decent amount of physical books, so I should be able to live a physical poison move from this thing. And ideally this might force him in a situation that he cannot get T-Spikes either. Which will help my, I guess, Primarina at this point. I'll go for the Psychic. This should do a decent amount of work. It is a 2-hit KO. And I get this BDF drop for what it's worth. As he goes for Poison Jab. I should take this fine. And no poison either. Good. So I could go for a Moonblast, because I expect him to preserve this thing. If I'm being honest. I don't see a way where he lets this thing go, because he can get T-Spikes later. So part of me wants to just Moonblast here. And he's -1. Moonblast should be doing 30 to 36. It might not be able to kill it at this point. I'll go for a Moonblast. I don't think you're gonna be staying in. Yeah. Something is taking a massive Moonblast now. Mid, which is the Mew. So you're gonna taking a +1 Moonblast. And that is doing good amount. And I'm getting a special attack, which may help. Which might be able to help. I'll just go for Moonblast again. I don't think now I have to think. I'm gonna hit this Mew. Volt Switch. So he has Volt Switch on Mew. It is around 35% now, I would say. And yeah, the Toxapex comes in again. And that's a critical hit, but... okay, the Primarina is trying its best to kind of make up for that turn 1 hacks. I still would rather just have the turn 1 landed and all these other shenanigans that I've gotten not to happen. I'll go for Psychic here. Ideally he's just letting this thing go now. Doesn't try to pivot around this, because thus far the pivoting hasn't really worked for him. But he does still attempt to do that, okay. He goes back to the Mew. As I go for the Psychic, this should do still a decent amount. As I get a Spadef drop, funnily enough. Because I'm in Torrent, I wonder if my Aqua Jet will kill you. 25% to Mew. Because how much did I do with the Moonblaster? I'm gonna be spending time a little bit because I've been behind the A-ball here. 14% to 70%. It might be able to kill. So I think I'll go for the Aqua Jet, because then it might die to rocks afterwards. I don't think he can recover here. It doesn't kill it, and it's Rocky Helmet, okay. Spikes. So he was fine to get up spikes with this. I think I'll go for it again, even though it means my Primarina dies here. Because it means that this Mew should be dead, which is good. I'll go for it again just to prevent another layer of spikes going up. I didn't expect it to be Rocky Helmet and spikes. So it was Volt Switch and spikes. Ideally I just kill it here. Yes, I do, but I also go down. But the Mew is dead, which is nice. So I'll be taking from the layout my Primarina and their Mew. So Mew is dead, and my Primarina is the 5th. Here, what is my best decision to go from here? I could go into Landorus to cover the Lucario, it covers the Toxapex decently, it covers the Crocodile. The Crocodile would be the most annoying for me, so maybe I go into this to get an Intimidate off. I could also go into Necrozma, but I think that's a little... I think I'll go with the Landorus. Trove, which is the Crocodile. And I guess now we get to see, like, he's probably gonna be max speed anyways. Yeah, he is faster than me. I will want to keep this thing healthy, so I don't think I want to stay in here, because he has the Lucario in the back. And he would be clicking knock off here. What is my best course of way to get around this? It might be the GOODRA. It might be the GOODRA actually. I'll go into GOODRA here. It's gonna be annoyed that I lose potential in my boots, but I have Restock. As he swaps out into Thunderous. Okay. That's perfect. Alright. And I don't think I'll mind this extension too much. I'll go for the Dragon Tail just to not let this thing get a sub or whatever. If he wants to sub this thing down, so be it. G-Bear, which is the Toxapex, I'll just get it out of the field. Granted, he's gonna gain itself back to full health. I just want to get that thing out of there. Yeah, it gets pretty much back to full. And here's the Lucario, okay. It is on air balloon. He might just straight out attack me right away. Yeah, he might straight out attack me right away, so I could try to preserve this, but this is very good for the other stuff. So I could go into Landers, or I have to stay in. Which one of the two I feel like I have to do? I think versus the Plastiflon, I have to just use my Talonflame as a way to get rid of it. So I think at this point I should be Dragon Tailing. As he withdraws it, okay. So it's good to know Lucario's air balloon. He doesn't want to pop it yet. And there's gonna be eventually a turn that I would have to rest. Okay, here's the Plastiflon. I don't think you would wanna stay in just yet and call hard and clicking Trick. If you click Trick as well, it means my Raikou outpaces you. So I don't think you would be clicking Trick. I'm gonna be clicking Rest here. Yeah, you will withdraw here. And go into probably, yeah, to you. This will likely give you the T-Spikes. But I could use that as opportunity to get my Necrozma in. Because now this thing is asleep. And what other opportunities am I getting this in on? I don't think I have too many other opportunities to get it in. And again, I want to remind, like, if that Thundurus would be gone, I would be up to 5-4, but that's unfortunately I have to deal with. Yeah, he's gonna get up his T-Spikes. I don't think he has a business staying in here, so I kind of want to just go for raw Heatwave and cover the Crocodile. Because what other swap-ins do you really have for this? I'll click the Heatwave covering the Crocodile. I don't think you stay in, because this thing is very useful. Yeah. Throw. This is the Crocodile. Good, I need some damage on this thing. Okay. We land the Heatwave. And I did decent damage to it. He's at 62 or 3%. What does that say about your spread? Crocodile. Does that say anything to me? That doesn't look... That could be a high roll for max HP variant, but he would have to be max speed and max HP then. He could also be, I guess, a Salt Vest. I think either way I'll attack this thing. As he goes for Earthquake. Because I need this thing gone. So my Raikou is freed up. He's Citrus Berry. Okay. So he's going to be at 30... I would say 33% about. Okay. So 33%, and this should mean a free Raikou, I believe. I'm pretty sure max HP cannot leave my Raikou's hit, right? Max HP at this point is the worst case scenario. Yeah, you should not be able to leave that. And I always outpace you. So this should be free Raikou. I have to mark down my Necrozma being gone, so my fourth is dead. So I'll be clicking Skull and get rid of this Crook. It's really the Lucario with the Air Balloon and the Skull plus Siphon that the main things I have to worry about. Granted, the Toxapex can kinda wear me down if my Raikou is not healthy for it. And GOODRA should be fine plus Siphon on check. If he chooses to ever trick my GOODRA, it means that the Raikou would always just outpace it, and then it should be the fastest one in the field. Entirety of the time. And the only thing afterwards that Raikou would have to worry about being outpaced by is the priority from Lucario. Ideally, I would like to just see him just sacking this Crocodile. I don't see how you preserve this. I guess you do. Okay. Do I mind this too much then? Is he just letting this thing go just to get damage on me? Do I snag a burn at least? No. So... what are his options what he could do here? Getting a poison jab? Poison, I guess, is the thing. He could be able to get off from this. I think that's the main thing. How much am I doing to you with a Thunderbolt? Yes, I would be at Toxapex. Do I just have to hit this thing? I will be doing 53% to it. I might have to hit it, right? Or I go for a Calm Mind. I think I'll just attack it for now, just to see what he does. Yeah, I'm doing half to it. As he goes for Poison Jab. Do not get it. You've been relatively too lucky because of the turn 1. Okay, good. Good, good, good. So I think I'm fine just going for this again. I could Calm Mind, actually. That covers him going to Crocodile again. Do I do that? Calm Mind would be pretty big. I think he swaps into the Crocodile, so I'm gonna Calm Mind. Okay, he stayed in. That's annoying. Do not get it. Do not get the poison. Okay, so I was punished from that. I don't think though you stay in again though. Because now you have the option going to Crocodile. So I'm gonna click Scald. I think you're gonna make the Toxapex play here, the Crocodile play. Yeah, I think I'm getting the Crocodile off now. Trove. Which is the Crocodile, yeah. At least I get rid of this. I had to follow up with the aggressiveness because I did that aggressive Calm Mind play. Alright, good. At least the Crocodile is dead from their side. But me being poisoned will be annoying. So I have to keep this thing still alive or be able to actually bypass the Toxapex. I do have Taunt at least on Talonflame, so that will help it a little bit. And Landorus's EQ should be doing a decent amount, because it looks to be Spidef. But at that point I suppose I should have gone for the... or definitely should have gone now in a hindsight for the Thunderbolt. He goes into this. I will not let this thing go down, so I will just go into GOODRA right away. Yeah, this is gonna be a little annoying. Because I think thus far, like, I think the hacks has been a little bit more in his favor than mine, but there's nothing I can really do about it at this point. He goes for the Flamethrower. That did 30%, or 30 HP. Does that really tell me anything? As I'm gonna click Sleep Talk while I'll check this. Plus Syphalon. He did 30 HP with Flamethrower. I assume he's gonna be Modest versus me. Yeah, that's like Modest. Modest Choice Scarf most likely, so I need Talonflame to be at full health to ensure to deal with it. Or this thing, frankly, can handle it. Be clicking a Sleep Talk once again. I would like to get up a EQ just to get some damage on this thing. Okay, good. I get that for myself at least. Okay, so it won't be at like absolutely full health. What are his really only ways getting around this? It's literally just Thunderous and tricking me later on. He may go into Lucario as well, so I'm gonna click Dragon Tail. Just to get rid of the air balloon. Recover, okay. So I'll just Dragon Tail it. Ideally I see like Thunderous that doesn't really... Okay, I see the plus Siphon. This could try to trick me, that's the annoying part. But am I bad position if that happens? Raikou should be able to click just Thunderbolt for the rest of the game. Am I in a bad spot if he tricks me? I don't think so. I think I'll EQ and damage this. If he tricks me. Okay, he just withdraws. Goes back to the Toxapex. And so I'll just EQ again. What point of health does this thing die to Landorus' EQ? If he is a Spedef variant. At 70% already, so he would be very close to dying to this right away. Part of me wants to just go hard into Landorus here. And then go for aggressive Stealth Rocks. I think I'll do that. I feel like I don't think he's gonna be Scalding here. He's gonna Poison Jab or Recover. Most likely Recover. And he doesn't know anything about my Landorus yet. Poison Jab, yeah. Okay. This is where I expect him having to swap out. So I could go for my Stealth Rocks. So I think I'll do. I need rocks on his end, so my Dragon Tail does more. A multi-Thunderous, which is fine. I get up my rocks, which is important. Okay. So now him swapping is actually now punished as well, especially because this isn't Boots. Plus Siphon I assume is not Boots, but then I would at least know. At least the Pex also is taking a little bit of chip now. Toxic, lands it. Okay. I could just go for hard rest right away, to be fair. So I stay at high health. I think I'll do that for now. He may go for like a sub or something like that, but I'm rest stuck, so I don't know if he can really beat this 1v1. He withdraws. Probably the Toxapex. Yeah. But now with the Stealth Rocks up, this GOODRA will be doing a lot more work. Raikou should be able to claim also one once I get it in. With a Thunderbolt, which is important. But I cannot swapping into hits cause I am poisoned at the moment. So we Sleep Talk. I need this GOODRA right now being my winning condition essentially. As long as the Thunderous is unfortunately alive, as I have to mention it again to myself that it's still alive, I do need this GOODRA. Okay, I get a Bay Earthquake, which is nice out of the Sleep Talk. So it's getting worn down. Granted, he can always recover, which is the annoying part. Granted, now looking at it, he should be recovering here. I don't know if this is the turn to go for it though. I think right now I'm fine just staying in and doing this. Because I just need to get the other stuff back, start taking some rocks damage. That's basically it. And if I'm at full health, the Lucario should not be able to beat me 1v1 at the moment. So now we Dragon Tail. These are turning into a little bit annoying Stally Fest because the Raikou blade. That's like one blade that I definitely should have always just Thunderbolted. Not giving him the opportunity to get the poison. Okay. And I drag in the plus Cephalon. And he is not Boots. So again, I have to ask myself, do I need this thing not to be tricked? It might be something that I should worry about right now, do I? Should I let this be tricked? I don't think I'm gonna be able to play the long game, so I'm gonna EQ this. Because I'm looking at the timer, I cannot play the long game. He might be actually timer stalling me at the moment, which is also annoying. So I do have to find opportunity to get the damage off. So now I have to be quickly just clicking the moves. So we're gonna just Dragon Tail. As he Toxics. If I just had this Thunderous gun, I would be freely able to click EQ. Barring the Air Balloon or Lucario. But like the Air Balloon or Lucario I can cover off because I have Yahtzee Berry on it. And I could even knock off and give it Justified boost if needed to. Yeah, this is... I would have to catch him clicking Recover in order to get some progress going. Which would have to be it, and I would have to get Raikou freely. Click EQ here. He might be spamming Recover until I click Rest as well. Yeah. He's clicking Scald. I would expect him to click Recover here. So I kind of want to go into my Landorus here and click Aggressive Knockoff. I have to play it fast. And he's probably playing the timer game for me, and I do feel like I have to force him in a situation that he cannot play the timer game on me. This is again, it's a little bit of my own focus. I've taken the turns and I didn't play the Raikou properly. But I have to try to make some progress happen. He does withdraw. Into who? Kirby. If you are +1. And it's Ice Punch. You're not Life Orb, for example. +1 into E-Speed would kill me. So I don't think I can play that game with him. I would have to go into my Talonflame and unfortunately break my Gale Wings. I cannot let this, because it's not intimidated, I don't like my chances taking +1 Ice Punch into E-Speed. He has E-Speed on it just alone. Okay. I have to U-turn here. As he withdraws. Goes into Thunderous. This should give me Raikou. Oh, this dies as well. Yeah, this gives me Raikou. Granted, I don't want to go into it right away. So I go into Landorus instead. But his Thunderous is dead now. So their 6 is dead. Kirby. Still Lucario. If he has these up, I don't think I can win this. So I have to knock off here. Get rid of the Abulon on it. Unfortunately, give it Justified boost if he has it. He might be Inner Focus as well, to be fair. Okay. So now I'll EQ. Now I'll EQ. I should take the +1 E-speed fine because I'm max HP. He goes for the E-speed. I'll take it fine. And I'll take out the Lucario. Okay, Lucario is dead. Their 5th is dead. I imagine the Blacephalon will come in. I don't see the Toxapex coming in, so right away my play should be GOODRA. Right away GOODRA. Not think about it. Shadow Ball. And I'll EQ. Hopefully I live this hit. As I do, good. And I'll take it out. Blacephalon is dead, so now we have to get through the Toxapex fast enough. Their 4th is dead. So it's just the Toxapex. My way of getting around this is actually going to Talonflame and taunt it. Thank God I have taunt. Right away. That's how I get around it fast enough with Raikou and Landorus. Okay, we might be able to build this out. Even with this little time that I have. We taunt and Brave Bird until we die and go into Landorus or Raikou. At this point Landorus will be doing more. So we taunt. Taunt right away. Thank God I had taunt, holy shit. Sorry for the language, but thank God I have it, alright. And now I can Brave Bird and finish the job. Brave Bird until I die. Ernesto. Thank you for having taunt this week. We really needed that taunt at this point of time in this particular situation, because I would have lost without it. You keep clicking skull, that's fine. Alright. Alright, Ernesto. Oh, you're living on 1. You get another Brave Bird. You're going out in your terms, Ernesto. Let's go. Oh, thank God I pulled this off. I got it worried that how this game has been going, that can I pull this off or not, but come on. Let's go, Ernesto. Let's go, team. We can get through this, and we might be able to have just enough time. I have to just click my moves fast enough. Ernesto dies. That's fine. And now we just click Landorus, I think. Landorus can finish the job. We shook up the taunt. Nah, we go Raikou. It's the first one there. We click Raikou, click Thunderbolt. And that's it. As my 6 mon went out, I'll click it right away. And Thunderbolt. And that should be end of the game, right? Just enough time. Holy crap. Okay, so your Helsinki Hydreigons do go 3-2 and beat Ogalbina. Great game to him. Obviously, I had my reasons with the turn 1 miss, considering how annoying it became from there to deal with the Thunders and not be able to click EQ freely. But man, okay, I forgot about also taking out the GOODRA as well. So yeah, it's a 2-0. It's a 2-0 win, but I'll definitely take that 2-0 win. Holy crap! Oh. So the taunt play was the big one at the end. Now my mistake, or my misplay definitely was like going greedy with the Raikou. I should have, like, I started thinking like he's gonna be doing this swap with the Crocodile and Toxapex and like start to gain himself back into high health. So I let that go into my head and clicked Calm Mind the second time. I should have always just hit the Toxapex, and if I killed it right away, I would have been much better shape. But because I didn't do that and I got poisoned, jab poisoned, I made it very tough for myself at the end, but we pulled it out. We are 3-2, and next week we are going up against Patmac, who we did play in the UPPA finals, and back then we did manage to beat him, and hopefully that's gonna be the case. Stay tuned for next week, because there's a high chance I'm gonna be having some transactions to be done, and I'm probably gonna be covering those just a little bit, what I was thinking of them in the Teambuilder portion beginning of the next battle video. So if you are interested at that, you know now by watching this and hearing this that I'm gonna be covering at then. Make sure to check out Ogalbina. He is one of the bigger Draft League players currently around. Besides Matt Doche, I would think are the two big ones that have the biggest following at the moment. And he does do a lot of content in regards to Draft League. So make sure to check him out, of course. And all the battles from this week being week 5. I'm sure there's a lot of great games once again to follow and see. But until week 6, thank you for watching. I'm gonna be see you guys later.